Welcome back. Here with us on Overdrive. The new generation Hyundai Verna does not come with a diesel option. In fact, it only comes with a 1.5-litre naturally aspirated petrol and a 1.5-litre turbo petrol unit. It also comes with level 2 ADAS features. Rohit has driven the 1.5-litre turbo variant. Here's his first impression.
You may feel that 160 horsepower is a bit too much. It might just make the city driving experience of this Verna, which is ideally a city car, a bit too unnerving or, a bit too unpleasant in maybe, stop and go traffic or in slow moving traffic. But honestly, if you choose the DCT, it's not too jerky. It's not too bad even for crowded city environments. Now, I've been driving in the city all morning. There has been a bit of traffic. And there are different driving modes which can actually help you enjoy your drive better. So using this little switch, you can toggle between the Eco, Normal and Sport modes. Normal is what I've found to be very nice. The Eco, it's a bit too dull for my liking. And Normal is where the DCT also performs quite well. It shifts up quite quickly. So in terms of fuel economy, it should be pretty decent. And when you're shifting to the highway, that's the way I did, you can either stick to Normal or you can even shift to Sport mode. It's raining pretty heavily as well. There was a curve in the road right now. My hands are barely on the steering just for safety's sake. The steering is moving on its own. The visibility conditions aren't too great, and still the ADAS is working as expected. This is the advantage of having a camera plus a radar. It's able to read the lane markings quite nicely even in these low visibility conditions, and it's able to maintain the lane properly. You also get adaptive cruise control, which out on the highway here is also working quite well even in these conditions. The cruise control is obviously the adaptive type. Now that you have ADAS level 2, you cannot turn off the adaptive bit, meaning that every time you engage cruise control, it will automatically adjust the speed of the vehicle or the set speed according to the vehicle in front of it. You can, however, make changes to the distance. You get 4 levels of adjustment for the distance, 1 being the least, 4 being the highest or the longest distance between yourself and the vehicle in front of you. You get 4 levels of adjustability. I am right now on distance level 3, which is safe for a highway speed of about 100 kilometers an hour. So, does this car feel like a 160 horsepower car? Well, in a nutshell, it does. The downside is, to a few people, there is not too much drama associated with it. And when I say no drama, there's not too much sound coming off the engine. It's a humble 4-cylinder engine. But for where it stands, the 1.5 turbo, it is pretty silent. The cabin is pretty silent. So no drama or no oral drama there. In terms of the acceleration, the DCT, the electronics, they ensure that they keep things tidy even under hard acceleration. You don't feel any unnerving torque steer. You don't feel any annoying torque steer when you're maybe coming off a bend and going a little early on the throttle. So the power is very nicely, in a very linear manner, laid down to the road. So that's another plus. Add to that a suspension that has been given a very nice supple tuning. Add to that a steering that has been very well tuned too. And well, you have a car that feels really nice. It feels very luxury car-like, very premium in that sense. With sport mode engaged, the Verna claims to sprint from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.1 seconds. And even in the wet, our test car could put power down cleanly without the electronics kicking in and ruining the fun. The ground clearance of this car is between 165 to 170 millimeters. They aren't giving us an exact figure. So that's sort of comparable to the competition. But you also have a longer wheelbase on this. So on maybe taller speed humps, you have to be a little careful. You don't want to brush that underbelly often. On the turbo variant, you also get rear disc brakes, so the braking overall is quite nice. The feel of the brake pedal is nice and progressive. It's very confident. It's not too grabby despite having 4 disc brakes, and that's a feeling that I like. What I also like is the engine braking assistance that you get from the DCT. It's actually quite good. Even if you are in normal mode, the way it downshifts when you're braking, it's actually quite nice. Nothing gets too jerky. So the overall tuning of the brakes plus the gearbox is something that I'm really impressed with. We didn't get a chance to drive the manuals, but this engine isn't as rev happy as the Honda City, and the power seems to taper off beyond 5000 RPM. The refinement levels are comparable though. Should you take manual control of the IVT or the CVT, there are 8 ratios to choose from, but the automatic mode works best. Both these engines are geared to cruise comfortably at 100 km an hour with the engine speeds barely touching 2000 rpm. But Hyundai's petrol engines are known to be thirsty, and we expect the 1.5 to return between 14 to 16 km to a litre, and the 1.5 turbo to manage 16 to 17 km per litre overall. The high-speed stability is actually quite good. So whether you're choosing the turbo or the 1.5, the top-end variants are equipped with the 205 section tires. So overall high-speed stability with this kind of suspension setup, the broad tires, etc., is actually quite good. When you're inside the cabin, it's a far nicer experience than what you see from the outside, because with this lower instrumentation and this slim and A-pillar, the visibility, the aperture that you get is excellent. Beautiful visibility. You get good cornering visibility as well. The wing mirrors, they're not too big. They are nice and sharp. They're a little wide, but not too large. There is a bit of wind noise coming off them, but they give you a good visibility in your mirrors as well. And you'll also see these exclamation marks on both the mirrors. That's basically the blind spot assist. So every time someone is in your blind spot, like there is a car right now, and it immediately tells me that there is someone in the blind spot. Of course, in India, there's always someone in your blind spot. So those lights keep flashing quite often. They work overtime. But yeah, the overall visibility is quite good. Though the new Verna is a nice car to drive or be driven in, there's no doubt that many buyers in this price bracket will still gravitate towards the more practical options like the Creta. But those who still love sedans have a great alternative in the new Verna when compared to some already well-established options like the Slavia, the Virtus and the City. Hyundai hopes to double the sales of the Verna with the new model, targeting around 3,000 units a month. So is it game over for the competition? Not really. They all have their strengths. But the Verna is finally a spacious car now and has advanced safety features too, and continues to have superior creature comforts and class-leading power figures as well, all of which could help it surpass the competition.
Well, I'm very curious to know what you think of the styling of the Hyundai Verna. Do you think it's very futuristic and you like it, or do you think it's a little over the top? Also, do you think the engine options are good enough to battle it out with the Honda City, Slavia or even the Virtus? Let us know in the comment section on our YouTube channel. We'll take a very quick break here on the show. But coming up on the other side, we'll tell you all about Joy Bike's new electric scooter, the Mi Horse.